Welcome to another Kraken tutorial video. Today we will take a look at how to create a process which allows the user to perform data visualization on specific subsectors of the reservoir grid. This can be very useful to examine and compare results from various sectors within the reservoir. So let's get started. Processes are organized in the data tree for easy visualization, and parent-child relationships are assigned and are visually displayed in the main tree. To create a process, the user can either click on the main grid, then select the process icon of interest in the Data Editors window, or right-click on the main grid, Processes, and then select the process of interest. A variety of processes are currently available with Release 2.5. Today, we will only go into the details of creating an IJK block process. In future videos, we'll touch upon the remaining process types. So let's go ahead and click on IJK block, then come down to the data editors and select the full range of values in the I and J directions, while only selecting the first layer in the K direction, which is K equal to 1, so that we can only visualize the top layer of the reservoir. Click on Apply, and by rotating our model slightly, we can see that the grid is only displayed for the top layer of the reservoir model. It is important to note that this new selection, the IJK block, has all of the same properties expected for the main grid, and these can be viewed by clicking on the Grid Functions tab in the data editors. For example, let's have a look at porosity by drag and dropping the property onto the workspace. Once again, it is noted that the IJK block selection is placed as a subset of the main grid in the data tree, where the main grid is the parent entity, in the IJK block, the child entity. Similarly, a new process can be created as a child of the IJK block. For example, let's create a plane, which would be a sub-entity of the IJK block and shown under it in the data tree. The same type of post-processing capabilities are available for the newly created plane. By deselecting the main grid and the IJK block in the main tree, we can now only visualize the plane and perform further post-processing with it. For example, let's create a histogram of the permeability in the y direction of the plane so that we can then compare it with the IJK block in the main grid. So let's go back to the Grid Functions tab in the data editors, scroll down to Permeability I, right-click, Histogram, Show a New Histogram, and now we can see the results for just the plane. We can then tile this up into two columns and reselect the IJK block and the main grid to be displayed back onto the workspace. We can now see that the histogram has been updated to show the permeability in the I direction for the main grid, the IJK block, and the plane. In summary, processes allow the user to examine data for key areas of interest within the reservoir for easy visualization and comparison. This concludes our short tutorial on how to create an IJK block process in Kraken 2.5. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.